Please give a warm Kentucky welcome to Zippy Duvall. Well,
thank you, Mark, and thank you for the opportunity to come here. And I want to first start out by saying y'all have a great State Farm Bureau. I always look forward to being with Kentucky. Great leadership. I can always depend on this state. And Mark has served on my executive committee ever since I've been president. I just so much value his advice. So I appreciate him and the other 3 that serve on my executive committee. So thank you for that. How many of you are here for the first time? Wow. Wow. So let me tell you how I picture this. When y'all come to town like this, when states bring our grassroots members here, you know this little thing about here's the church and here's the steeple, open the door and all the people? You heard that little saying? Well, Farm Bureau is a big umbrella. It's like that church. And underneath the national and the state and the county level, you open that umbrella up, and there's where the church really is. It's the people. So when y'all come to town, y'all make the circle come together. See, these great people that give their time to serve you and congressmen, that give up their lives to serve our country and our communities. We set the groundwork, giving us your policy, and then when you come to town and start talking about your policy like we've laid that groundwork, you just complete that circle. And the church or the body of our organization comes alive because. So I don't have much time, so I'm going to hit it really hard and really fast. You're here in a very, very good time because there's some of the issues we've been talking about for years that's right on the front burner, and we're so excited about having the opportunity to be at the table and talk about it, whether it be at the White House, at the USDA, or in Congress. Labor is a big issue. I've been to every 50 states, all 50 states, and Puerto Rico, and everywhere I went, labor was the biggest restraining thing that kept agriculture back. We can't grow, we can't thrive unless we know what labor we're going to have. We're talking about labor, and that's a good thing to talk about the labor that we have that we're going to discuss. The other thing is trade. Trade is huge. Now, I'll tell you, it's been a roller coaster ride since President Trump come into office. There's so many good things that come with him that, the opportunity for us to participate, opportunity to talk about these issues that are so important to us, and some of the issues I'm going to talk about this morning. But trade is going to be that way. Well, right now, the roller coaster is kind of going on downhill. We're starting to hear more talk about withdrawing. You need to tell all these great people that's given up their lives to serve us how important trade is to you. It is so important, and every time we start talking about withdrawing from one of these trade treaties, it just puts the markets and everything and us very nervous. And we need for you to send the message home hard that we got to keep NAFTA. If we can improve it, let's improve it. Let's don't do any harm to the agricultural piece. It's been huge for us. We want to continue to do what we're doing there, and we can't afford to sit in the water looking over old trade treaties when we should be building new ones, because 95% of the people in this world live outside our borders, and we have saturated the market here. And we're in a time where our income's down 50%. 50%. The other one, discussion today in the White House, RFS. Now, years ago, we turned the direction into doing renewable fuels, started building our rural communities around the RFS, ethanol production, corn production. The whole Midwest and across your state around corn is built around that infrastructure. And to think we're going to freeze it or whatever they're talking about doing in the White House today and just making it stale because we're having an appointment with Mr. Northey held up, and it's not about Mr. Northey. It's about oil and ethanol. It's just really sad to see us be in the position where we had to defend something that's been good for our country, good for our atmosphere, good for our rural communities. RFS is so important, and we need to make sure everybody understands how important it is, and we need to find another way to release Mr. Northey, because it's not about him, it's about oil. Just think, oil companies, record profits. Farm economy, half of what it was, our farm income half of what it was just 5 years ago. Which one's more important right now? Send that message home. It is so important. So for us to be sustainable, we've got to continue to do that. The other thing is trade, immigration, or farm labor, and then, of course, regulatory reform. And we'll continue to talk about the regulations that are strangling you out there on the farm, and we want to make sure that we try to remove every one of them. This administration taunts that they're doing 22 regulations or going away with every one new one they put out there. But just let me give you one that's on top of my mind. Electronic monitoring devices in our trucks, hauling our livestock and our vegetables. Things that are going to perish, or we're going to torture our animals because we're going to have to stop on the way of delivering it. It's going to double the cost. If you put 2 drivers in that truck, it's going to double the cost. You know, these things, these electronic monitoring devices that go in these trucks is not good for agriculture, because we're not the same as hauling T-shirts or hauling tennis balls or something that's not going to perish or suffer in that trip. These are the things that we need to be talking about when we go into the hills. So I'm hoping that you're going to hit them hard. And I probably already went over my 5 minutes, but those are the 3 things. Those are the things that's on my mind today. It's the things that's happening in Washington this week, and it's things that affect you in your life every day. So let me leave you with this. All this turmoil, all this stuff you see on Fox News and CNN, and all these things that these brave men and women that are giving up to be able to serve us, I'll remind you this. Colossians 3:15 says, "Let peace that comes from Christ rule your hearts. For as a member of one body, that body of that church in the Lord, you are called to live in peace and always be thankful for it." So at the end of the day, He's going to take care of us. But He also gave us a mind and a mouth and a set of ears to go out and work for the causes that helps His will in our life. And I don't ask you just to talk about your Lord today with someone, but talk about those issues that's so important to you that I just mentioned to you. Thank you for the opportunity to be in here, Mark. Thank you for the leadership in this great Farm Bureau. And thank you for the senators and congressmen and the staff people that are in this room, because we truly, even though we come to you needing your help a lot, we truly appreciate the sacrifices that you make each and every day to serve our communities and our country. Thank you, and God bless you.